1, 2, 3.
Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. We are debt free. You heard it, debt free, you guys. So welcome back to our channel. If you're new, thanks for joining us. Today is our monthly budget report card. So basically, I just go over the previous month, see how we did, see if we kept on track, and then we go over the current month, kind of a snapshot of our estimated budget, and go from there. So today the big news is that we are officially debt free, so we've officially finished Dave Ramsey's baby step number 2, and so now we are going to be moving on to baby step number 3, which is going to be saving the rest of our emergency fund of 3 to 6 months. Originally, we were going to shoot for 6 months, and then we probably will continue that. We are shooting for 6 months before we hit the road full time. And again, if you're familiar with the channel, you know what I'm talking about. If you're new, you may not know what I'm talking about. But real quick, I'll just kind of give you a little rundown. We are actually in the process of downsizing. We're going to be moving into an RV full time and traveling. We're going to be working seasonal work camping jobs or seasonal jobs if that's what ends up working out for us. And then we are going to be road schooling. So I already homeschool, so we're just going to be taking it on the road. So it's going to be pretty amazing for our girls to get that experience as well. We, get to have the experience and not waiting until, we retire to do it. So the goal is that we're just going to be working roughly a few seasonal jobs and then have a couple months out of the year where we're traveling. So we will continue to do our monthly budget report card, as far as we can see, because basically once we hit the road, you guys are going to see how our finances are going to change from living in a house to living in an RV, and then adding on the traveling, and then only working maybe 9 months out of the year. So excited about that. But again, the biggest thing is that we are officially out of debt, so that is awesome. Also, I want to just encourage you guys, obviously your goals aren't going to be the same as ours. I'm sharing this with you guys just to kind of give you a little encouragement or inspiration that we are a low-income family, and if we're able to work the baby steps and get out of debt, you guys can do it too. And the other thing with my channel, as far as downsizing, being a little more minimal, and living in the RV and traveling, again, that may not be your guys' goal, but I hope to inspire you to seek out what it is that really you're passionate about and what you guys want to do, what your values are, what it is with your family, what you guys want to do, and just make it happen. So I hope that we're inspiring you guys to go after your dreams and to make it happen, and don't let anything stand in your way. So that's kind of be maybe my only spiel for today. I'm going to try to get through the budget a little faster. Last month I did kind of talk quite a bit, so it was a long video. So I'm going to try to get through it a little faster. So February, I'm just going to go through pretty quick, and then March, we have some things that changed, so we'll kind of go into that. So again, I have here my budgeted amount, so that's what I shared with you guys last month, and then our actual amount. I color coded green if we did better than budget, red if we did worse than budget, blue is we did right on budget, and down here you're going to see an orange, and that actually just indicates for me personally to know that that money is actually still in the checking account, and that's just so kind of a mental note for myself. So again, we always start off with our income. Ricky, we had budgeted $1,436. He actually did a lot better, $1,612. He had his whole store got a bonus. They've been doing really good on their sales days, so he got a bonus. And then he also had a referral, and that person reached their 90 days, and so Ricky got some extra money for the referral, so that's pretty cool. I originally budgeted $856, only got $760, and that's where we have news for you. I'm no longer working for the temp agency at Amazon. I have started a different job, and I'll go over more about that in March. extra. Now this was for tax refund that we were getting. Again, a lot of people were wondering how we got so much money back, and if we needed to adjust our withholdings with work. Ricky and I basically, we both claim 2 on our withholdings, basically ourselves and 1 child. That's kind of just what we do. I went ahead with my new job and started claiming 3. Honestly, they don't even withhold that much taxes. I think Ricky's federal withholdings were only like $1,500. It's just we are low income, so we qualify for that the child tax credit, and it's basically like about $3,000 per child. So really, that's kind of where that money comes from. Just wanted to clear that up in case anyone didn't hear that last time. We actually did make $25 extra because we sold Sky's old kennel. So again, the extra could be if we sell anything around the house, things like that. And then our rollover is what's pretty much budgeted that needs to cover some bills before a payday for the following month. So again, $282 was rolled over from January. So all in all, we made about $100 extra when you even it out, so that's not bad. So our regular expenses, our rent, so I'm just going to go down on these, and I'm not really going to talk too much about them. If you're interested in a little bit more detail, you can always watch previous videos on those. So rent, $892.50. Our car insurance, $119.35. Our Netflix, $8.69. Electric was $154.20. Internet was $41.71. Water was $100.99, so it was 99 cents over. Adobe Cloud, $10.62. Cell phone, $50. Motorcycle insurance, $23.78. Groceries, we originally budgeted $206, we spent $216, so about $10 over budget. Again, we roughly budget, just for the time being, we budget $8 a day, so depending on the month, that number can change, and we do get $26 a month for food stamps that we subtract from that amount. Gas, now we budgeted $240, we only spent $110, that's awesome, and again, that's because I no longer work at Amazon. When I was going to Amazon, I was traveling about 90 miles a day. It was 45 miles one way. It took me an hour. So that it wasn't helping us out at all. So now that's a good bonus there. Diapers, $37.15. And then our rollover, originally I was going to roll over $346. However, the extra $110 we had from gas, I went ahead and rolled it over, and you'll see that it's rolled over for March gas. So those, pretty much everything's right on. Those are pretty much fixed expenses except for the electric and gas for the most part. Okay, so moving on down to debt, you guys. So we paid my dad, we owed him $1,000, we paid him back, and so we no longer owe him anything. Awesome, we're done with that. My student loan, I had budgeted that I would owe about $14.86, and it ended up being $14.93, so a few dollars off, so pretty much right on. The medical expenses, those were 2 medical bills that we still had from when Ricky had meningitis back in June. So we finally got those paid off, $629. And Ricky's motorcycle, we budgeted that we were going to roughly owe about $3,003, and it ended up being $2,999. So, you know, overall, we basically budgeted exactly what we needed, and now we have a zero balance on those, and now we will just wait for Ricky's motorcycle, for the title for the motorcycle, and then that way we can start listing both of our motorcycles for sale, because again, we're going to be purchasing an RV, and we want to use the money from the motorcycles to put down on the RV, and that's going to be treated as our mortgage because that is going to be our house. So if you are following Dave Ramsey's baby steps, that's kind of going to be part of our 3B, if you will. Okay, emergency savings. Originally, we were going to put $1,000 to start on baby step 3. We only ended up putting $744, and that's just because, you know, we splurged, we worked hard all year, and we wanted to use some of that money in our fun category, so we went ahead and used some of that. And you know what, we're fine with that because we've still paid off all of our debt, and we were still able to save an additional $744. So now our emergency savings is up to $1,580. So we're getting there, you guys. Awesome, right? Okay, sinking funds. So we did take $220 from the tax refund to put aside for our car registration that's due in July. And so we have the balance of $220. Now, originally I was going to go ahead and just get 2 years worth of our registration, our tags. However, when we get the RV, we actually may be changing our official residence to Texas. So I kind of wanted to wait and see, because then I may just be switching and registering it in Texas. We don't know yet. That's up in the air. So you have to kind of stay tuned for that. Car, bike maintenance, we budgeted $70 because my motorcycle did need a new battery, so we ended up getting the new battery at $65, so about $5 less than we budgeted. Not bad. Burning Man, we went ahead and put $1,249 towards Burning Man, and the tickets are going on sale this month in March. So we have that amount, you know, we have basically the $220 and the $1,000. That's our current balance in the bank account, because those will be, when they're paid, they will come out of the bank account, so I don't want to take them out as a cash sinking fund. When we do March, you'll probably see that that balance will have gone down because we will be purchasing our tickets. Now, giving, I talked about our giving category in last month's video, so if you're curious as to that, go ahead and look there. We ended up spending $25.30 though, because when Ricky got the bonus for the referral for referring his friend, he did end up taking him and another guy that he trained. He trained 2 guys, and they're blowing it away. They're hitting their numbers. They're doing really good. So he treated them to lunch one day. So we would count that as giving, treating somebody else. So that was something that he wanted to do. So that actually was really nice. And so we just $25.30 for that. Now the girls, again, it was Arcadia's birthday. So we did a small birthday at the house. I just made some cake. And she got to spend the day at my friend's house with them. While Ricky and I, because her birthday is the day after Valentine's, so we actually celebrated her birthday at home on Valentine's. Then she spent her birthday with my friend while Ricky and I did our Valentine's date. And then the following weekend, we took Arcadia and I, just us two, we had a mother-daughter day with 2 of my girlfriends and their 2 daughters. And we got her hair cut, and she got her nails painted, and she got her hair curled and stuff. So just a little fun dress-up pamper day for the girls. So that's what the girls' money and the personal care, that's what that ended up being here. So the girls, basically, I budgeted $75 for her, spent $73.60, so pretty much right on. Personal care, and that was for me to get my hair cut. I did end up buying some mascara as well, so I ended up spending $68 instead, so a little over budget, but that's okay. RV fund, so I added an RV fund here. Anything we sell around the house, whatever we make from that is automatically going into the RV fund, and that's to like purchase things not for the down payment of the RV, but to purchase anything we might need for the RV, organizing, equipment, the towed thing we need for the car, things like that. So the kennel we sold, I went ahead and just put it right into the RV fund. So I put red because we originally didn't budget for it, and then you see I do have the balance here. So now I'm finally getting some balances over here. Okay, so homeschool, I ended up changing it to homeschool work. Originally budgeted $70. Originally, I was actually right on budget for the music that I purchased for Arcadia. However, my new job, I had to get pants, a belt, a shirt, and a little lock. So I ended up just counting that as a work expense because otherwise I wouldn't have bought those. So I ended up spending $114. So I did go over budget there. Fun, again, we went way over budget because we had only been budgeting $50 for every month, so you'll see in March that we went ahead and bumped it up. We ended up spending $230 total between eating out, Ricky's pocket money, some little events, things like extra things that we've done, or buying drinks and stuff. So that, again, just basically came out of the savings. That's fine. So all in all, though, I think we did pretty good. A few over budgets, but like I said, the biggest thing is we paid off all of our debt, and we have officially started baby step 3. Awesome. Okay, so now let's head to, a grade. Let's give ourselves, so because we paid off all of our debt, I'm going to give us an A. We have an A on this one. It's awesome. Again, if you're not familiar with the channel, this is what my budget looks like when I start it, because I do put every payday at the top, and then I decide which paycheck that bill is coming out of. So I have a overall monthly budget as well as a weekly budget. But let's talk about the income. This is, again, I started a different job, so let's talk about that briefly. Again, Ricky, we're just budgeting $1,436. Ever since a few months ago, every month so far he's been getting bonuses and or cashing out hours or something like that. So we really don't even know what his set paycheck's gonna look like yet. So I keep budgeting that, and we keep making more, which is fine. But he gets paid every other Friday, so he gets paid on the 11th and the 25th. My new job is so like I mentioned, I was working at Amazon in Phoenix, so it literally took me I would have to give myself an hour and a half to get there, and then it took me an hour to get home, so I was using an extra 2.5 hours out of my time as well. Like I mentioned, I was driving 45 miles one way, so like 90 miles a night. So that was bumping up our gas expense, it was bumping up our maintenance on our car, it was taking away from time. I wasn't getting home till 2:30 in the morning, pretty much not falling asleep till almost 3:30, and then still having to wake up and care for the kids. So it wasn't working out like we had hoped it would. So I started looking in February, I started looking for a job locally, because we do live in Maricopa right now. So I decided I'm going to find a job locally, and if I take a pay cut, that's fine, because I'm saving on gas, and that way I save time. I can actually go to work a couple hours earlier and get off earlier, and I can just stick there until we hit the road. So I did get a job at Domino's delivering pizzas, and so this is going to be really hard for me to budget, because one, our hourly is different between if we're delivering versus in the store working, and then we get gas money and we get tips. So there's no set amount. I could make a totally random amount between day to day. In addition, even if they schedule me for 4 hours, if they're slow and they have like 5 of us that are drivers that are there, then they'll send me home. So my hours also can be up in the air. So what I did for March, we'll just have to see how this plays out. I budgeted $716, and so what that is so I've worked 1 week. So I took what I made this last week of February, and I counted it as my first pay in March. So I took that, what I made for the first week, and then this week I am scheduled for 22 hours and 15 minutes. So what I did was I kind of just averaged it, saying, okay, for the next 3 weeks of the month, I'll get 22 hours. Who knows if that's how it works out. In addition, so if we're working in the store, we make $8 an hour. If we're driving, we have $5 an hour plus our gas plus our tips. So I just average everything as $8, because they basically, if you're driving and you have a really bad run and you don't make, they'll make sure that you at least make $8 an hour. They did say that most of the drivers average $10 to $15 an hour. Last week, I did 1 day of training, and then I did 1 day of half training, and then I was officially on the road, and I only worked 2 hours every night on the road, and I made, $89 for my gas and my tips, plus my hourly rate. So, it's hard to tell. I think I averaged about 12 an hour, and at Amazon I was making $11.50 $2.50 an hour, but keep in mind I was traveling, you know, so much further that if you actually averaged out my time, I was making like $7 an hour. So it actually just, it wasn't mathematically making sense for us. So again, I could average, you know, more than $8 an hour, but what I did was I went ahead and just said, based off of me working 22 hours, making $8 an hour, roughly I'll make $7.16. So I have a feeling that this number is actually going to be quite a bit higher. But again, if I'm scheduled for 4 hours and I may only work 2 hours, so we'll see how that goes. So that's going to be a little hard. I get paid every other week. So the 4th and the 18th is when we get paid our hourly pay, but every night that we drive, we get to keep our gas money and our tips that night. So Dave Ramsey does talk about, though, budgeting for irregular paychecks, and basically he's just like, you just make a list of what's most important, you make sure those are paid first. So basically you're going to pay, obviously, your rent, your food, your gas, your utilities, you know, you're going to make sure those things are paid first. So obviously, basically the way my budget is set up, that's kind of, you know, this top, our regular expenses, those are the first expenses we'll make sure get paid. And then any sinking funds or savings or fund money, that's what's, you know, would get paid later on down the road, if that makes any sense. So, okay, so this video is getting a little long. But anyway, so that's the whole deal with the new job. And I will be staying there until we officially hit the road. And now we plan on, instead of hitting the road with next year's tax return, we actually are going to hit the road after Burning Man. Burning Man finishes up the first week of September. So we are planning on working the sugar beet harvest. We're going to start off our travel with the sugar beet harvest, which starts in October, and we're actually head to Michigan first, drop off our girls, and my mom's gonna watch them, and so they're gonna actually love it out there. October is one of the best months. All the leaves are changing, and my mom's house is really cool. She's got a basement, which my niece actually lives in the basement, and then she has an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment upstairs, and my sister lives up there. So the girls are going to have a ton of fun getting to spend time with grandma and auntie and cousins. So it's going to be kind of like their vacation while Ricky and I go work our butts off at the sugar beet harvest for a month, and then we'll pick them up and head down to an Amazon camper force job, and then we'll get to take a couple months of travel, and then we'll be working a seasonal summer job, maybe at a national park or an amusement park or something like that. It's kind of the plan. So we plan on hitting the road sooner, and we plan on, instead of having that 6 months when we hit the road of emergency savings, we're gonna, if we have 3 months or at least a little over 3 months, we'll be happy with that to hit the road. So again, a little bit of extra spiel there. So I'm just going to go through really fast. If it's the same budget as last month, I just say it's the same. If it's different, then I will let you know about that. So regular expenses. Rent is the same. Car insurance is the same. Netflix is the same. Electric, we actually saved about $10, $144.28. Internet, the same. Water, I don't have the official bill, but we've been staying around $100, so I'll just budget $100. Adobe, the same. Cell phone, the same. Motorcycle insurance, the same. Groceries, again, it's a little higher than last month because we have 31 days in March versus 29. Gas, I went ahead and lowered it. We're only going to budget $160. Again, I'm driving way less. In addition, now that it's warming up, Ricky has started riding his motorcycle. So until we officially sell the motorcycle, he'll take advantage of driving that. Diapers, $35. Dog food, we do not need to buy any. Karma does great. We changed out her food, and it's a big, huge bag for like $20, and it lasts for like 3 months. So we just bought her a new bag yesterday, so she's good for a couple months. Personal care, household, don't have anything here, but we do have it in the sinking fund. Rollover for April will be $324. Again, this may change slightly based on paydays. Debt, zero, nothing's here, you guys. So I'm probably gonna just take that out, take it completely out of my budget. So emergency savings, we're not gonna be putting too much in because Again, we are still purchasing some of our homeschool supplies. We have a few things left to buy. So we're budgeting our $76.80, and that's going to cover 4 of the art portfolio things. Again, we do Charlotte Mason method, so we cover art, music, as well as your literature, your math, your reading, your handwriting, science, nature study, all kinds of stuff. Personal care 20, household 10. And then fun, we've upped it to 100 because again, we keep saying 50 and we keep spending more than that, so we upped it to 100. So then that's what's leaving our emergency savings, basically what's left. And I know we're kind of doing that a little bit backward. They usually say pay yourself first, pay yourself that 10% first. But you know what? This is the way we're doing it. So we should be able to save another $158 for March. And again, that's just based off of me lowballing what I think I'll make. I think I'm going to make closer to 900, but we'll see how that is. So yeah. And then, I still have, so the idea is you want to do your zero-based balanced budget, and this is where I actually have to fix something. Originally I had gas, so I have 110. So let me add that actually while you guys are here to our savings, because you want to have a zero-based balanced budget. There we go. So we're actually going to be able to save $268.56. So that gives us our zero-based budget. Awesome. Yeah. Good, excited, you guys. All right, so there you go. We're debt-free. I changed my job again. We're going to hit the road with the RV in October instead of next February. So that's what's going on here. Please leave me a comment in the description box. Let me know how your guys' baby steps are going. What step are you on? And what is your next big goal that you guys want to accomplish? All right, so as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.